First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the beginning of a new day in Northeast Baltimore.
All right.
It's the official campaign kickoff. I saw one of our supporters this morning, Tom Chalkley, who said he had a cartoon for the city paper, which he makes predictions that in the year 2070 will be the first year that there's not a current in the city council. I said we're going to mess up that prediction really quickly, because both myself, who's running for city council, and Maria Allwine, who's here running for city council president, have decided that it's time for change in Baltimore. We're meeting here at this station because it really symbolizes what's wrong with the city. The city paid $473,000 for this abandoned piece of property. They spent an additional $100,000 to clean it up, and here it sits. It's been vacant and abandoned as long as I've lived in the neighborhood, which is almost 18 years. We see now huge tax credits down at the harbor. We see a paralysis in the city. We see increasing crime. We see decreasing schools, increasing dropout rates. One of my friends calls this the "and now they came for us" campaign, because the problems that we are seeing in Northeast Baltimore are ones which we have never seen before. I had a call 2 nights ago from a friend of mine who lives just a block away, that there were a group of kids on the street. One of them had a .45 caliber gun in broad daylight, and the other kids were saying, "Oh no, don't do it in daylight." And he was panicked. He was afraid to call the cops because he was afraid that they would come after him. We leafleted at the Hamilton Hills meeting on Wednesday night and for a special meeting with the police, and without exception, people who are coming in are describing gangs, abandoned houses, loose pit bulls, that kind of stuff. And so I'm here to say that on behalf of the new party, the Green Party in Baltimore City, we are going to break this one-party rule, which has wrecked the city in decline for 40 years. The Democrats have wrecked the country at all levels and lied to people. One of the reasons Baltimore City is having this problem is because the federal government is spending $13 billion a month in Iraq. And you can argue whether or not that's a good place to spend it. But the point is that that's money that used to trickle down into our neighborhoods, fix our streets, provide capital for places like this to invest, provide help for people like the Chameleon Cafe to expand. That money is gone. What we're seeing now is the state of Maryland is going to raise taxes, the city of Baltimore is going to raise taxes, and the chickens are coming home to roost. The Democrats were elected in November at the federal level to end the war. There are now more troops in Iraq than there ever have been. They are totally helpless when it comes to stopping the so-called surge. It's disgusting. But none of them has children over there, so it's just another campaign issue. Last year at the state election, every person who ran in this district vowed on a stack of Bibles that they were going to stop the BG&E rate increase. And all you have to do is open your BG&E bills to know that's a flat-out lie. So I'm here to tell you that I and the Green Party and the other candidate, Maria Allwine, stand for change. And if you want change in Baltimore City, get with us. If you want more of the same, do what you've been doing. Thank you very much.
Yeah!
What we're going to do is we're going to have Maria Allwine is going to speak. We're going to have Bill Harvey speak on behalf of UCAN, which supports single payer. We're going to have Doug McNeil briefly speak on instant runoff voting, and we're going to have my friend Todd Cherkis, my adopted son, talk about the United Workers Associations. And they're having a function tonight, but we invite each of you to come up to our house 2 blocks away, have food and beer and soda, and kind of let me show our appreciation for all the efforts that you put out. I want to particularly thank Rob Savage, and the people from Anne Arundel County Greens who went out today, and they've been leafleting over in Bel Air Edison. Saw the paper the other day that this is a troubled neighborhood all of a sudden. And they got rid of a bunch of yard signs and passed out a lot of leaflets. And that's what we have. We're not taking corporate money. I'm not Barack Obama out raising $100,000 fundraisers. I'm not Martin O'Malley getting $700,000 from one guy under different names. This is a whole different movement. And that's why we've asked Bill Harvey from the Single Payer, Todd Cherkis from the United Workers, and Doug McNeil from the independent runoff voting, we got to get together. We have to have we have to help each other out. The single payer is not separate from the people who clean the stadiums. The people who clean the stadiums are not separate from all of us who want to see political and economic and social change in Baltimore City. We got to keep this going. It's not just every time in November we all get together and have a few drinks and then go back to sleep. We've got to get hold of this city. We've got to get hold of this state. We've got to get hold of this country. Thank you very much. We all right.
Thank you, Bill. I want to thank everybody for being here. As we all know, it is critically important to believe that we have the power if we just use it. Every last one of us can create change in this city, which we so desperately need. I have been an active anti-war activist since 2002. I just participated in a civil disobedience action in D.C. I put my body on the line for what I believe in. I'm active with the Maryland Coalition to Stop the BGE rate hikes. Bill talked about that. The very least that the City Council should be doing is pressuring the state legislature to go into special session to re-regulate that rapacious corporation that's ripping us off. BGE is one issue in this city that the City Council and that pathetic City Council president, I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say about her. She absolutely is in office because it's a political favor being repaid. And it is not helping us. And she is unwilling to get out in front on the issues that affect us and our communities. Amen. She's the one, along with the Baltimore Development Corporation, who introduces these pilot bills, and especially the one for Patarakis. And folks, guess what? This isn't his first pilot, okay? This man is Mr. Breadman. He's been very wealthy and very powerful for a lot of decades. He's getting a $33 million tax break from our city council that can't wait to give it to him while we're suffering. We have this on this corner. Nothing's being done. The City Council of Baltimore is interested in one thing, and that's perpetuating itself, perpetuating its power, and making sure that these people get elected over and over and over again. And I'm here to tell you, I participated in a lot of forums before the primary, and I don't know what city these folks live in. It's not the city I live in, and it's not the city you live in. They are really disconnected from us. They take money from these developers and these corporations, and they all take the money and they run. 1.9%, and I'm sure you all know this, 1.9% of property tax revenues comes back to our neighborhoods. The rest, down there. Who goes down there and who can afford to shop or live down there? Now, there's good development and there's a way to do it. There's bad development and ways you don't do it. And turning development in this city over to completely private interest is wrong. Hurts us, hurts our neighborhoods. Look what's going on over at Johns Hopkins. Those people are being pushed out of their homes, and they are not being given a house for a house. It's private development again, and I'm not saying that development is wrong. None of us believe that. But you cannot do it at the expense of people and communities. One thing I want to close with, you cannot talk about education, our failing educational system in this city, which is rife with corruption and waste and mismanagement. You cannot talk about a dysfunctional police department, which has been largely politicized, unless you're going to talk about jobs and poverty. That is what underlies the problems that have afflicted Baltimore for decades. And if you don't have politicians who expect you to vote for them, talking about what they're going to do to bring jobs to Baltimore, they don't deserve your vote. Because all they want to do is put a Band-Aid on these problems, like Bobby Curran, who wanted to pretty much declare martial law. You know, I was wondering, whatever prompted him to think that was appropriate. But anyway, the bill didn't go anywhere. But that he would even think to introduce that, and that's the solution? Of course it's not. We have got to bring jobs to Baltimore. One of my proposals is to institute a new public works program where we train, hire city residents, repair our infrastructure. And people say, where do you get the money? for you. There's plenty of money available. It's a question of priorities. It's a question of not giving tax breaks to developers for a start. And it's a question also of reopening our shuttered youth centers. That's another issue. But I need to stop, because I'll just stand here for a couple more hours anyway. It's not good. Thank you very much. Please vote for me.
We passed this out. This is the infamous $33 million John Paterakis pilot. It was supposed to finish the City Council on Monday night. They backed off, and it didn't actually finish yet. It was going to. But what we're going to do when we get all done is we're just going to set these all on fire. It's kind of a symbolic question.
Yeah!
And we're going to ask the questions that Rob has here. Where's Bobby? You know, they came here Wednesday afternoon, interestingly, clean this place up. Cut the grass, haul all the trash. So there's a way to get action from the city. Bill Harvey.
Yeah. All right. All we have to do is have rallies and every vacant lot in Baltimore. All we have to do is have rallies and every vacant lot in Baltimore.
That's right.
Okay, I'm glad I don't have to follow the United Workers, because they have done a really wonderful thing.
That's right.
A wonderful thing in itself, and beyond that, potentially an even better thing, because they've shown us that if you organize consistently over a period of years, organize power behind our values, you can get something done. So we owe them a lot. Thanks to Bill for having us here today. Bill is a longtime supporter of Maryland UCAN, and Maria has done a lot of work with us over the last year or so. We're glad to be here to show a little support, and grateful to have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. Single payer, very briefly, there's so much confusion around the issue, largely brought to us by Democratic politicians. If you want to understand this issue, don't go to Hillary Clinton, Obama, or John Edwards. I guess it's okay to mention one Democratic politician at a Green Party rally. If you compare what Dennis Kucinich is saying on health care to what those three are saying on health care, you can clear a lot of the confusion up right there. Very briefly, and I don't think this is all that complicated. I'm blessed with being a fairly simple-minded person. I think that if we get rid of the insurance companies and the HMOs, we have the possibility then to begin to straighten out the healthcare system. Already in this country, we're spending more than enough to care for everybody. Yeah. Study after study, since a government accounting office study in 1991, through a study on Maryland, the Lewin report, the 2001 Lewin report, have shown that this can work, that it can be paid for, and everybody can get care. The problem is that right now the money is going in the wrong direction. If we eliminate the health insurance companies and the HMOs, we eliminate mountains of unnecessary paperwork, we eliminate exorbitant CEO pay and other executive pay. I was reading just last night, $20 million for some of these guys. We eliminate public relations and advertising. We eliminate campaign contributions and lobbying. Really, exactly what is happening is that we pay them premiums so that they can turn around and use that money to lobby and campaign against our interests. That's exactly what's happening. Michael Moore said that the health insurance industry has 4 lobbyists in Washington for every congressperson. Okay, so single payer at this point is kind of the elephant in the room. We have stuck with it. I started on this in 1989, off and on, a lot of off, and get discouraged, and there are other things come up in your life. But single payer is the only way to eliminate the misdirection of the great resources in this society and redirect them toward the provision of care. Okay? Good timing. One, because Wednesday night, I've given you a lot of people this leaflet. Wednesday night, we're having our annual meeting. Two really good speakers, Kay Tillow and Karen Montgomery. If you don't have a leaflet, I'll get one to you. And good timing beyond that, in that I guess we've got about 6 weeks, 7 weeks until the election, so everybody can pitch in, get Maria and Bill elected, and after the election, come over and do some work with Carolyn Buchanan. Our big push begins November and December toward the January session in Annapolis.
All right.
So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I had a call on my cell phone from Dan Quayle, and he said, you know, you forgot your family. So I want to particularly thank my wife, Joan, and behind every great woman there's a guy, and I'm that guy. My next son, Alex, stand up, next city council person, and my son, Willie. He's natural born campaigner. So makes it all possible, as all of you do. I want to introduce Rose from the United Workers.
All right.
My name is Rose. I'm with the United Workers Association. We're a human rights organization led by low-wage workers to help end poverty. And we just won our victory. We got a living wage. After 3 long years of hard work, commitment, and sacrifice by a handful of people in a little office in East Baltimore, working day and night, long hours, we finally got it done. We thought we weren't going to be able to do it, but we finally hung in there and got it done. And it's never been done before. And you know, we were just really excited. And we had a victory Labor Day prayer breakfast down on Light Street at Presbyterian Church. I want to thank Bill Berry, because he's been with us from the very beginning. His continued support and help, we really appreciate, because he, you know, helped us out tremendously. He's been a really good friend and an ally of ours. I want to thank him. And we have to continue to fight for the rights of the poor in Baltimore City. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more social event. I know all of you are eager.
Oh, yeah.
This is your day out.
Yeah.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, we're going to have a potluck Sunday supper at 1700 South Road, Mount Washington, St. John's Church. And it's going to be at 7 o'clock, so if you want to come down there, you can. We'll have some food and refreshments for everybody.
Is that today?
Yeah, today. 7 o'clock in the evening. Mount Washington, St. John's Church. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. I'm Doug McNeil. I'm the co-chair of Maryland IRB, and we're promoting instant runoff voting in Maryland. There's 2 ways to change the system. One way is to elect Bill and Maria, and the other way is to change the election law, and that's what we're doing. The way it works is normally if you have 3 or 4 candidates on the ballot, either in the primary or in the general election, you may have some of them that you like, but you can only vote for one. With instant runoff voting, you rank the candidates 1, 2, 3, 4 in order of your preference. And then when they count the votes, they look at all the first choice votes. If one of the candidates has a majority, then he or she is elected. If no one has a majority, then the candidate with the least number of votes is eliminated, and those votes are transferred to those voters' second choice. Small parties like this system because people can vote for us without worrying that they're going to elect the guy that they like the least. Large parties like it because it eliminates the spoiler problem. No third-party candidate is ever going to change the outcome, throw it from one major party candidate to the other. And the voters like it because they can express more accurately their preferences. you may have a guy that's a second choice. You can vote for him as number 2. So if everybody likes it, then why don't we have it in Maryland? Well, we do. We have it in Tacoma Park for the local elections. Green Party there did a ballot initiative, put the question on the ballot, and 84% of the voters voted for it. It's very popular. So now, and Tacoma Park just held their first election where they used it. It was a special election in one of the wards to replace a candidate who was elected to the county council. And it worked fine. Voters liked it. So now what we're doing is we're going to be lobbying the General Assembly to pass this into law for all Maryland elections. All the state legislative elections, Baltimore City Council, both in the primaries and in the general election. So we have some brochures here that you want to look over. It has our web address on the bottom. It's Maryland IRB at AOL.com. And we hope you'll get involved. And what we want is we want you to leave your checkbooks in your pocket. We don't need money. What we need are people to work on this. Because the more people we have working on it, the sooner we're going to get this in Maryland. Don't give us money. Donate to Bill or Maria's campaign instead. So we hope you all take the brochures and join up. It's a growing movement, and we have an excellent chance of getting this, not the first year, not the second year, but within, say, 5 years or so. It takes a lot of persistence to get. I've worked on these lobbying campaigns before. It takes a lot of persistence, but I'm convinced that we will get this in Maryland, and it's going to change everything. So thank you.
Sanyaga here, who's come around and from the Libertarian Party, helping us campaign for Constantini.
Hi everybody, how many football fans here? No football fans? Well, I gave up free tickets for the Ravens to be here today. I came back to Baltimore in 1984 with my wife Susan. 23 years ago, this place was just the same. 23 years ago, okay? Now, Baltimore is a great place that has been mired in crap, quite literally, by liars and thieves, especially the Democrats.
That's right.
Martin O'Malley is to Maryland what George Bush is to the United States of America.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The entire team downtown in that city hall is to Baltimore what George Bush is to the United States of America.
Thank you.
That's right.
Maria, Bill, we got to clean this town. I know you guys can get a head start on it, and that's why I'm here. God bless you all, and thank you.
Okay, I think that wraps it up. What we've got to do, I have to ask each of you to spend a little time, help us go door to door. We're not going to have the money for the big media stuff and everything, but each of you helps a little bit. One of the things that is really driving me crazy about this election is that it's one thing to run as a third party and figure, well, we're going to stand up for principle and do the right thing, and there's always something to be said for that. But in this case, the voter turnout could be so low that with what we got last time and what the other parties got, we could actually win this district. And so it'd be a shame not to exert every effort. So we are leafleting at night, door to door from like 6 to 8. If you're available, we'll get you some streets. I'm doing neighborhood meetings. We're going to do Laurelville Fair on Saturday. And Saturdays we're either across the street at the Safeway or up on Hamilton Avenue at the Harvest Fair. Because what we try to do is maximize our resources and make people come to us. And Vince has been helping to arrange all the volunteers, and it's been absolutely great. Love I feel from all of you is really, really great. So why don't you all come back to the house. We've got food there, nice trays, and my wife made a beautiful salad and stuff in the garden, so we'd love to chat with you a little bit more. There's beer up there, coffee, there's beer up there, coffee, there's beer up there, coffee. If you have yard signs and you're not going to use them in this district, please drop them off here at the van because they all cost money. So we'll order another yard sign. I particularly want to recognize Rick Kunkel back there, who was really one of the first guys who ran for office for the Greens. all the great graphics that you see on my stuff, his wife did them. And I'm sorry Johanna's not here today, but it's really nice to have talented people helping you out. And that's what we're going to make really happen. Yes?
Let's say one thing. A couple of us from Anne Arundel County were up here going door knocking, and just to reemphasize what Bill said, it makes a huge difference. And we had 6 of us out there, and we managed to get 3 campaign signs for Bill and Maria in just an hour. And we also talked to maybe, 30, 50 people out there. So it makes a huge difference because Bill hasn't said it, but all he needs are a couple thousand votes to win, and that is completely doable. In such a district of this size. I mean, all we need are people going door knocking every Saturday, every evening, whenever they can, and we can win this race. So, and also make a large, get a lot of votes for Maria, which will help a whole lot too. So.
I want to close with one other fact that's important about the City Council race. How many of you this year got an $8,000 pay raise? See any hands going up? One of the things that I ask when I'm at the candidates debate is who has an $8,000 pay raise, and no hand goes up, which is yet another lie, because there is one person in the room who got an $8,000 pay raise, and that's Bobby Kern, and he got it out of your money. And where's Bobby? He's not even grateful. He doesn't even come here today to say thank you to each of you. So let's go up that street, 1 block, turn left. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right.
Let's burn.
Burn, baby. Burn.
Bill, can you do a little explaining beforehand?
What we're going to do here, this is the pilot, this is the copy of the Baltimore City proposal to give a $33 million tax break to John Patarakis. And it's passed 2 readings in the City Council, 1 more and it becomes law. It snuck through completely under the radar until we made an issue of it. And so what we're going to do today, as a gesture of giving the finger to John Patarakis, Bob Kern, City Administration is, we're going to all get together, those of you who have them, come on over here, right over here. We're going to burn them, throw them down here, and make a nice pile. Now, hold on.
And I tell you, I've got the bill that the City Council is considering to reauthorize all pilots. They're going to continue using this as an economic development tool. So we're burning that one too. Hey, hey.
Everybody who's got one, get up here.
Yeah! All right!